My name is Clara. I am 26 years old, and until a few months ago, I thought I understood what love meant. I thought I had found my forever. His name was Aaron. He walked into my life on a rainy Thursday evening, carrying nothing but a tired smile and a story he didn't share right away. From the first moment, something in him drew me closer, the quietness in his eyes, the way his laughter came late, hesitant, as if joy was something he had to practice. I met him at the bookstore cafe where I worked. He came in shivering from the rain, his dark jacket dripping water onto the wooden floor. His hair was a mess, his hands trembling slightly as he ordered black coffee. I noticed how carefully he placed his wallet back into his pocket, as if it contained something fragile. I still remember the way his eyes lifted to mine when I handed him the steaming cup. There was a softness there, a wordless thank you. Something unspoken passed between us in that instant. I felt it, an invisible thread tying me to him. We started as strangers, then customers and server, then friends. Slowly, the friendship blurred into something more. He stayed longer after buying his coffee, sometimes scribbling in a worn leather notebook, sometimes simply watching the rain. He began asking me questions about my day, about my paintings, about the little dreams I kept hidden in the corners of my mind. And then one evening, when the cafe was almost empty, he confessed softly, "I like being here because of you." That was how it began. For months, we built a life together, piece by piece. He would walk me home after work, his hand warm in mine. We made small dinners in my tiny apartment, laughing over burned pasta or spilled wine. On weekends, we wandered the city, searching for thrift shops and hidden parks. I loved him with everything I had. I thought he loved me too. But love has a way of hiding shadows. And sometimes, the very person you trust with your whole heart carries a truth heavy enough to shatter you. Aaron carried a secret. One I was never meant to find. One that broke me the night it surfaced. When Aaron became part of my world, it felt like my life shifted from dull shades of gray into colors I didn't know I had been missing. He wasn't like the men I'd known before. He didn't shower me with rehearsed compliments or grand gestures. Instead, he was quiet, careful. His love showed in small ways, the way he remembered how I liked my coffee with just a hint of vanilla, how he carried my bag when it looked too heavy, how he noticed the sadness in my voice before I even admitted I was tired. The first time he kissed me, it was raining again. We were walking near the pier, umbrellas forgotten because the storm had turned playful, not fierce. He stopped suddenly, water dripping down his face, and looked at me like I was the only person left in the world. "Clara," he whispered, my name trembling on his lips. And before I could breathe, his mouth was on mine, soft, gentle, desperate, as if he had been holding back for years. That kiss changed everything. I let him into my heart without hesitation. For the first time, I felt safe in someone's arms. I told him things I had never told anyone, about my father's absence, about the years of loneliness I carried, about the dreams I had of one day painting full-time instead of working endless cafe shifts. Aaron listened. He never judged. He would simply nod, squeeze my hand, and say, "You deserve more, Clara. So much more." And I believed him. Those months were the happiest I'd ever known. Nights were filled with whispered conversations and lazy embraces. Days were filled with the comfort of knowing I belonged to someone who saw me, not just the mask I wore for the world, but the real, fragile me. I told myself over and over, this is love. This is forever. But deep down. Sometimes when I caught Aaron staring out the window too long, his eyes shadowed, I felt an unease I couldn't explain. It was as if he was somewhere else entirely. Somewhere I couldn't reach. It started with small things. A phone call he wouldn't take in front of me. A text message he read quickly and tucked away. Nights when he grew distant, holding me but not really with me. I brushed it all aside at first. I told myself everyone had things they didn't want to share, old wounds they weren't ready to open. I wanted to respect his space. But the unease kept growing. One night, as we lay tangled in the sheets, I whispered, "Aaron, is there something you're not telling me?" His body stiffened. For a long time, he didn't answer. Then he kissed my forehead and murmured, "Not everything is easy to explain, Clara. But please trust me." And because I loved him, I did. I trusted him even when doubt began to gnaw at me. Even when I noticed how he never let me come over to his apartment, how our world existed only in my little flat or in the public spaces where no one really looked too closely. He told me his place was small, messy, not worth seeing. I laughed it off and believed him, because believing him was easier than facing the hollow fear growing inside me. Love makes fools of us all. It was a Sunday afternoon when everything changed. I had left one of my scarves at the cafe, and since Aaron had the spare keys for locking up when I couldn't, I went to his apartment to look for him. I told myself it was innocent, that I would finally see the place he called home. His building was only a few blocks away, an old brick structure with narrow windows. My heart beat faster as I climbed the stairs, carrying the excitement of finally stepping into the hidden part of his life. I knocked. No answer. The door wasn't locked. When I pushed it open, the world I thought I knew crumbled. There were photos on the wall. A smiling woman with dark hair, her arm wrapped around Aaron's shoulders. Two children, no older than 6 or 7, laughing in the sunlight. My knees weakened. I stumbled forward, my breath catching in my throat. Everywhere I looked, drawings taped to the fridge, tiny shoes by the door, a wedding photo tucked into a frame, it screamed of a life I didn't know existed. And then I heard it. "Daddy?" A small voice from the hallway. Aaron appeared a second later, his face pale as death when he saw me standing there, tears spilling from my eyes. "Clara," he whispered. "You weren't supposed to." I didn't let him finish. My world had already collapsed. I don't remember how I got home that night. I only remember the way my chest felt like it had been torn apart, the way my hands shook so badly I could barely unlock my door. Aaron was married. He had a family. All those nights, all those promises, all the whispered forevers, they were built on a lie. I curled up on the floor of my apartment, clutching my knees to my chest, sobbing until my voice was gone. The man I loved, the man I trusted with everything, had betrayed me in the cruelest way. His secret broke my heart.